Hello everyone on YouTube. Well, I'm doing this brief video here on, I'm going to title it how the right way to build a board-on-board fence versus the cheap, easy, and last for 3 years way. Well, as many of you know that follow my channel, I'm here in sunny Florida. It's always hot, and this side of the property gets non-stop sun, front and back, east and west facing. So what I've done is taken the liberty to rebuild some of this fence with better quality materials, with better hardware, and with a little bit more love. Let me show you how I'm doing it for anyone that's curious. Yeah, all that dirt's for that one post. What I have first and foremost here is I want to follow the same level height as this existing fence because it is built to code. It's 4 feet high. So what I've done is on the good parts of the fence, which it's a little rickety and wobbly, but it's still solid. On the good parts of the fence, I went on ahead and nailed a stringer nail right here. This is basically going to tell me how high each picket has to be in comparison between here and the ground. And this ground is pretty level. Luckily, most of my cuts are going to be within the same cutting dimension, which is 4 feet. What I've done is basically run the stringer from the good part of the fence to the other good part of the fence over here. And then I set my first board, and then I move my stringer to the good new board, which will set a height parameter for the new pieces of fence that are going in. So if you look here, there's my string. I maintain a positive, it looks like it's extra on these sides, but this is actually board on board, so the thickness is a little bit different. But you'll see that that string maintains the height of the picket. If you don't do this and you think that you have a good eye, you're going to start on one side and it's going to go down this way. Believe me, I've made the mistake of doing that. Run the stringer. It takes an extra 2 minutes, and the string is like $5 at your local hardware store. So that's the first step. The other string you see here is basically for me setting my gate posts. I'm running with two 8-foot long gates to make a 16-foot total width gate. If you run with a regular 4x4, this is what happened to the existing one. When I drove in my lag bolts, it completely split down. It's not meant to hold a 150-pound gate, which that measures. So do yourself a favor, if you have existing 4x4s, yank them out. That's not enough concrete. This post has 200 pounds of concrete. That's 30 pounds of concrete. So that hole for this post is 4 feet deep with 200 pounds of concrete in there. Let's just get that set right there. So that's what this post is for. If you're going to run conventional fencing, just run with 4x4s and make sure, I would always make sure if you're running an 8-foot post, put it down at least 3 feet and then saw cut the top. Depends on how much you're doing here, but at least get it in there 2 feet. So yeah, that's the point of the two strings. This was basically to maintain the face parameter on this new post here. So let me go and show you. Well, actually, let's show you here, continuing on the pickets here, how I'm attaching them. The existing fence was made with ring shank nails that are galvanized, supposedly. It's 3 years now I've had this fence, and you'll see what's going on with these nails. They're popping out, boards are getting real loose, they're sunk in way too far, so there's really not a lot of meat that they're grabbing here on each picket. They're popping at the bottoms. The fence company that I use is really reputable. I love the guy. He was awesome. He gave me a lot of great advice when I told him what I was getting ready to do. It's just the nature of the materials and budget at the time. He only used one screw here, one 3-inch screw. I'm using two on my 2x4s. I'm using 2x4s that are pressure treated for the runners. And the way I'm doing these pickets, as you can see, is I'm using screws. I'm using outdoor fasteners, these grip-right fasteners here. These things, which are really good. These are maximum penetration, 1 5/8" penetration, so I'm getting almost all the bite I can on each one of these planks, and each plank is getting 4 screws, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom, and you can see how they're attached there. They kind of go straight down. So let me take you on the other side here